To speak confidently, you absolutely do not have to be an expert. It's certainly helpful,
Mhm.
but simply being knowledgeable about the topic that you want to convey, the topic that interests you, that you want to speak to other people about, that is the key. You have to have some understanding. It doesn't mean that you have to have a mastery of every topic you want to speak about.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Mastering Communication series. In this episode number 10, we have a very special guest all the way from Greece. He's a Canadian voiceover artist by profession and an expert in branding through voice. Today, Matt shares his expertise and passion with us. At the end of this video, you will have a much better understanding of how to use your most immediate resource, your own voice, anytime you are communicating personally and professionally. Now I invite you to welcome Matt Sheppard. Matt, what a pleasure to have you in my show. Before I ask
Hi, thanks so much
you
for
to
having me.
reveal all the secrets, what is a perfect voice? How do you do that? Why don't you start by telling us a little bit about yourself and your background?
All right. Well, as you mentioned, currently, after a long journey, I am a professional voiceover artist. What that is, somebody that uses their voice to help add value to brands, companies, and in some instances, individuals as well. It's a pretty broad category. How I got here, a lot of trial and error. So I've always been involved in entertainment in some way, and I think that's the underlying factor that got me to where I am. I realized that of everything I've done throughout my life, I just love to entertain, and it landed me right here on the business end of a microphone.
Wow, what a nice introduction, Matt. So you are in Greece, but you have dual nationality, right?
Yes, I'm a permanent resident here in Greece, but I was born in Canada, raised in the United States, and
Oh, yeah. Wow,
yeah.
that's very nice and very multicultural. What a good choice also to be. Fantastic Greece. Well, Matt, just to get some more clarity on the voiceover, because people might still be wondering what that means. So, guys, the voiceover, is that amazing, beautiful, sexy voice many times that is in the background of the videos that people watch. So, you see an advertisement from Coca-Cola, BMW, and then there is a very compelling story, and there is this narrator, this voice, this person narrating that advertisement. And that's what Matt is doing. So it helps the companies, it helps people to get actually people more interested to keep watching that advertisement or that video, right, Matt?
Exactly. And I mean, the advertisements they're such a small part of the whole industry. 90% of the work that's done is, I mean, it's almost going on in the background. There are video explainers on companies' websites showing you how to better navigate the new software you just bought, as an example. And this is the bread and butter, let's say, of the voiceover industry. There is just so much work since we've entered the technological information age that requires a voice to explain something. And this is where so much of the work is being done. I think the end goal for a lot of voiceover artists is to be the voice of Coca-Cola, or to be doing the movie trailers in a world, but there's such a small percentage of people that are doing these really big gigs. If you open your ears to it, you can hear throughout your day, and every single website you click on and every social media platform you're on, where voiceovers are really happening.
Lovely. So if you were to describe some of the big companies or nice projects that you really felt so involved and that it was a true success story, could you tell us one example? People will know that company for sure.
Well, I've done some explainer campaigns for companies like Merck, which is a pharmaceutical company. But I mean, honestly, the most enjoyment I get, and where I feel like I have been most successful, And I don't know if you saw me smile about 10 seconds ago while you were speaking. It's because the most enjoyment I get is when I'm dealing with clients like yourself,
Lovely.
where you have a thought, an idea, a brand that you just want to reach out to the world and make a connection.
And
and please, yeah.
Yeah, so as you mentioned that, so little secret just for those who are there now. So the way I met Matt is exactly because he has done the recording from my own video explainer, which is still in the process, everything else, but you will get to see.
I hope we didn't let a secret out. Oh no.
Oh my God, no, but please, those now, don't tell anybody, guys. It's a surprise secret. Anyway, so Matt, listen, I'm certain many people are starting to feel, wow, I love that. I would love to learn, but how can I become an expert and how can I speak confidently? So what would you say about that?
Look, number one, to speak confidently, you absolutely do not have to be an expert. It's certainly helpful, but simply being knowledgeable about the topic that you want to convey, the topic that interests you, that you want to speak to other people about, that is the key. You have to have some understanding. It doesn't mean that you have to have a mastery of every topic you want to speak about. I think the adage goes, 10,000 hours makes you a master. I don't have 10,000 hours applied to voiceover at this part, but I sure am good at what I do. And I'm confident enough to put myself out there, market myself, and do well at it. You are
expert. I'm so sorry to tell you, but you are. Let them see my explainer coming very soon.
I think we need to raise the bar for what an expert truly is. There is a distinct difference between being really good at what you do and being able to speak about it knowledgeably, and being, this guru that people have in their heads. And you don't have to be that guru to get your point across. You really don't, and to be good at something.
What you say, actually, I swear to you, I have these goosebumps, and the reason is because I can immediately relate what you're saying to my executive clients, and I really mean it. Because they are fantastic, 20 years experience. They really are global CEOs, or maybe SVP that know everything about a 500 Fortune company. But then when it comes to job interviews, that's where they don't know how to express or how to put it across. So as you said, it's not so much about what you know, which is important, but it's how do you project and feeling confident about what you're talking about. So how would you recommend anyone, including, of course, those executives who said, I know my thing, I know my business, I've been a global sales across 500 Fortune companies for the last 20, 25 years. But when I go to a job interview, they feel like they are like that child first time riding a bike. They don't know how to handle it. What would you recommend, Matt? How can they develop?
It's perfectly natural. It's a natural anxiety that develops in us. Even people that are very, very, very seasoned at it. Even myself, right now, I'm and you and I speak on video regularly. This is not a live video, but I'm still nervous. But it's all about keeping that in check and reminding yourself to remain in the moment and be honest with yourself. If you are not presenting yourself to be something that you are not, and you are speaking within the boundaries of what you understand, then you should be able to speak clearly about it. You just need to remind yourself that you are capable of it.
You're absolutely right. Something happened to me the other day. I was invited for an event, and everybody knows I want to be, public speaker, and that's where I want to reach my goals in my life, to become a renowned public speaker. Hopefully this will help me. And I was invited for an event that I said, lovely, let's do it. But then when the person told me the event is for SMEs, it's not for executives trying to land the job, because I said, okay, I can go overnight, I can talk naturally, I don't need to worry, because that's what I've been doing for the last 7 years, and I'm very confident about advising executives to land the job. But when he told me, well, here we go, we want you to speak, but it's for SMEs, and there's going to be some investors there, and they will be pitching, and you're going to be one of the speakers. I said, oh, okay. I said, you know what? I started getting nervous, and for me it's very difficult, honestly, to get nervous when it comes about speaking, because I really love this public speaking thing. I said, my God, if I'm getting nervous, but you know what, I'm not going to say no. I'm going to do like Richard Branson. You first say yes, and then you find out what you're going to do, how to do it. And what I did, I said, you know what is the value that I can provide to the people that are there? I'm not going to go there and say, hey, executive, so how do you land a job? They're going to say, sorry, wrong event, lady. So what I did, I said, you know what? Here we go. I got an inspiration. I went into meditation, and I said, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take everything I learned from those executives that became successful executives, became to the high level in their position in their company. And I had already recorded interviews with them. So I'm going to take everything they said and put in one presentation and create a 9-step success formula. And why 9? Because those are the very impactful. The 10th was, above all, stay calm and, enjoy yourself. And so it was like my own number 10. But it was tremendous, because I was literally able to say, hey, startups, you're pitching, what do you need to develop? 1, be flexible. 1, all those things. I was able to create these rules. I said, wow, that's it. You have to be confident about what you're going to talk about and forget judgment. And when I said, I know the value I'm providing, I'm helping those people be more comfortable in pitching. And that's where I said, whatever I say, I know I'm giving value. That's it. Then I dropped down any kind of nervousness. And that's where I focus, right? So I think that, as you said, confidence is beyond expertise, right?
And you keep using the word value, and I love it, because I strongly believe that if you were in a situation where you even think you want to go out there and address people like you're doing, for example, you have something of value to share. And you know what? If you want to share it, then you owe it to yourself, and you owe it to the people around you to do it, because not everybody is going to follow every word you say to the letter, but a certain amount of it is going to ring very true with people, and they're going to take that information and they're going to use it to better themselves.
You're absolutely right. And I think, above all, people that are speaking out there and they want to speak, they want to be speakers, or they want to do what you do, perhaps they want to develop. I think they need to realize, if they are being contacted or they are being inquired, like you're having service after service and you're doing amazing, it's because they really recognize the value, right? So I think when we stop self-judgment, and that's why I say, no, I'm not going to self-judge. I'm going to talk about what I learned from those successful guys. So I know I'm not saying my truth, I'm saying their truth, but I'm translating into value for this community that is here today. And that's when I said, I know it is going to be good. It could be good maybe to 10 people, it could be good for 40 people, but if it's good for one person that day, I'm happy. And then, long story short, it was very natural. I felt very positive. And then I had people after this, commenting, and I said, that's good. And then I watched that video. I said, okay, I'm okay. I liked it. Good. Well, this is so good. I think it will help so many people, feel more confident and just go and do it. I think at the end of the day, I always base one thing. If you have a passion for something, just do it. Just do it. You will be perfectly well, because the passion, I think, is the main ingredient. Other than any knowledge, any expertise, any number of hours and years you have done something. So the passion brings that fire in the belly and brings that excitement for the others. People get excited when see people that are happy. And so minimum brings some good vibes, right?
Yeah. Big time.
So Matt, anything else you want to share with us today? Anything that you feel that the community, you want to make sure that you left this gift for those who are watching and say, I want to be a voice over. What do I need to do? Where do I go? How do I start?
Look, if I could position something towards your executive clients, especially people that are moving laterally or moving up, or unfortunately sometimes we won't say moving down, but sometimes we have to move all across the board as life changes, as demographics change, as the market changes. I think the most important thing is to identify what you really love about where you are in your profession. And if you can't come up with 5 really solid things that you absolutely love about what you're doing, then come up with 5 really solid things that you love about something else and start applying yourself to it.
Wow, lovely.
Start in very, very, very small steps, and maybe it starts as a hobby, But
Love it.
aside from the profession that you're in, start planting a seed. It is never too late to plant a new seed and start working towards something that you really love. And a lot of times what makes moving forward or just moving on is the fact that we get very, very, very comfortable in the current situation we're in. You need to shake things up, and you need to be, above all, honest with yourself.
Yeah.
It's never too late. Identify these things that that really make you happy, and then take action and apply yourself to them. It can take some time, but once you start making small incremental steps, the ball starts rolling, and the next thing you know, you are exactly where you want to be with your life.
You are absolutely right. And you know what you said, this formula, and I know I never told you because we never had a chance to sit down and have long conversations, but that's exactly how I started. I had this passion for advising, helping, and talking to people. Always loved the talking part, whatever I'm doing. And then eventually, when I was working as a headhunter and recruiter, I would have to headhunt those candidates, and then I would go on the call, interview them, but I was supposed to be fast. In the interview, it's literally identifying, is it a good match, not match, next. But for me, I would stay on the phone, I would stay on the interview, I would go and start advising them. I said, listen, let me give you some feedback. I would go have coffee and say, hey, I want to help you. You were fantastic, but you didn't express correctly, so we couldn't put you forward. I want to help you so you can be successful in the next interview. And then eventually I was like, you know what? That's what I love doing. I realized it's not the recruiting. The recruiting was an excuse for me to actually find out that I wanted to advise the people. And then because I learned what they would do wrong, and then guess what? I started doing pro bono. I said, I love it. I love networking. I started meeting people for coffee. And then eventually one person told me, one executive said, Isabelita, why you don't do a business out of it? And long story short, So I started before. It was for quite some few months. I don't know if it was a few months or 1 year maybe. Totally, yes. I thought it was networking and just doing what I like, talking, advising, but then it became a business. And then eventually I joined a company that, I'm very happy actually doing what I do. So it is amazing. Exactly. Start, if you don't want to start as a business, use your passion for good. Do pay it forward. And eventually it will show you the results of your seeds, right? So
absolutely.
Wow. Wow, fantastic. Maybe, we should consider some partnership because your advice is absolutely fantastic.
Thank you. I thoroughly enjoy collaborating with you, Isabelita.
Wow,
I'm very happy to be involved in your project and your growth. I believe you're a pioneer. I'm really happy to be here.
That's so lovely
alongside you.
Thank you so much, Matt. And I will be going around actually Greece and make some photos and videos for our community because we're gonna feed some stray cats. Who knows me knows. There is no way to exist without being the cat lover. So, and that there is an organization that, as I told you before, I'm supporting with the stray cats in Greece. So the next thing I want to do is take a flight, go to Greece and go around Acropolis and feed, and that's how we're going to actually meet face to face.
All right. I can't wait. Coffee and cats. Perfect.
Yeah, it's not going to be a giraffe. It's going to be cats. Excellent. Well, Matt, it's been absolutely amazing having you here. And I appreciate all your energy and goodwill to want to share these amazing examples of your life and profession and passion with this audience. I'm certain you have inspired many people. So thanks once again.
The pleasure is always mine. Thank you so much for having me.
That's my honor. So everybody, thank you so much for being here once again. I really hope you have enjoyed, and I'm certain now you can become a better communicator if you are able to follow all the advice provided today by Matt Sheppard. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to my channel, and remember, be that life creator and bend this matrix. Create the reality you want to see in your world. Until next time, stay blessed.